What is going on, everyone? James Larsen here with the XFL Newsroom One-on-One. We're back. It's been a while. Got a great episode for you today. Taylor Powell, linebacker, coming out of Sacramento State and hoping to get to the XFL. Awesome stuff. We'll get into the interview, but first, do that intro. Welcome back to the XFL Newsroom One-on-One. Got a very special guest with me today, Taylor Powell, linebacker. How you doing today, Taylor?
I'm doing great. Just blessed, to be honest. Doing really good.
Great to hear. So we're bringing you on the show to talk football, of course. You're an athlete, just graduated from Sacramento State last year. Take me through your journey a little bit. What got you into playing football?
So, yeah, I actually started playing football when I was 6 years old. And kind of what got me into football was, I had always been around the game. My dad used to coach a little bit of high school football. We actually lived in Seattle, Washington for a little bit. My dad was coaching ball out there, and I'd always go out there and, run around even as a little kid. My father actually played at Tulsa University and New Mexico State. So football has always been around our family, and my grandfather as well played a little ball. So, just always being around the game kind of got me started at a young age playing, flag football all the way up to, that mighty junior peewee on the high school, college, and now professional. It's just been a blessing in my life because it's been able to take me so many places I never thought I'd go, and so many states and stuff like that.
Right.
Opportunities have, been endless. So it's been great.
That's awesome. So you played at, and correct me if I pronounce this name wrong, you played at South Point Catholic in high school. What was that like for you, and when did you kind of feel like you fit into that linebacker role?
So yeah, South Point was great. Actually, one of the top schools here in Arizona. A very consistent program, and at the time when I was going into high school, they had just lost their I want to say 3 starting backers who were all seniors. So I was a freshman. I was a freshman at the time, and I was a pretty high rated 8th grade. Played in like a couple national all-star games and kind of along those lines. So the coaches kind of knew me and kind of knew what I could do. So right away, we're doing summer training, and they kind of moved me up to the varsity level, see if I could, hang with the big boys, and kind of just jumped off from there. I ended up, after the 3rd game, I ended up starting for the rest of the season my freshman year, and kind of I think I made, I want to say, like third team all section type of deal as a freshman, and I was pretty big, and kind of just ended up snowballing from there. I was always used to playing linebacker and running back, and I played running back, all the way going up, and then so I started playing a little running back as well in high school. So that kind of I would say only enhanced my linebacker play, just as far as a vision aspect, and being able to kind of maneuver the defense with the offensive mind at the same time. So no, South Point was great for me. Had a couple great seasons. We actually only, throughout my 4 years, we only lost 1 game in the city of Tucson. So our biggest competition was usually those Phoenix schools going up to the playoffs. My sophomore year, we made the semifinals. My junior year, we actually won the 4A state championship, or it was Division II at the time. Actually, we had Division I, Division II, Division III. They didn't go back to 6A, 5A till a couple of years after I was out of high school. And then that kind of capped off high school. Had a few offers coming out. Had a Nevada, Fresno State, and Colorado State, and
Okay.
obviously NAU. So that's kind of how I ended up at NAU. Originally committed to Nevada, but due to some kind of injury stuff, I couldn't wasn't able to attend there, and ended up at NAU. So yeah, no, high school was great for me. I had a great experience with my head coach Dennis Benet, is a high school football legend here in Tucson.
Good deal. Yeah, so that actually kind of leads into my next question there, which is you end up in North Arizona. So what was that process like for you with when it comes to getting opportunities? I know you just mentioned a couple, Colorado, Nevada. What ultimately made you fit in at North Arizona, because you were there for like 3 years.
Yeah, so Northern Arizona was actually a blessing in disguise because you know as every kind of high school players, you kind of want to go to those big D1, Power Five universities, or
Mm-hmm.
even a mid major and stuff like that. My eyes were kind of looking towards the Mountain West, and I was kind of spending all my energy getting information on the Mountain West. I didn't know too much about Northern Arizona. After I decommitted from Nevada, before that signing day, because back when I was in high school, there was only one signing day, and I want to say like around, I want to say what April, I think it was, right around April, and so like uh, 2 or 3 weeks before signing day, I got in touch with the defensive coordinator and linebackers coach Andy Thompson. And my former teammate, he was actually a linebacker with me at South Point as well. He was at NAU, Northern
Okay.
Arizona at the time. So they kind of connected me, and he knew I was a good ball player, and gave me an opportunity because at the time, spots were filling up.
Right.
When you commit to a place, other schools kind of, depending on the recruit, they kind of back off you and stuff like that, and kind of lose contact. Along with coaching staff changes, it makes it kind of tough to, find a home, especially when you decommit at a, last second. So, no, yeah. So, Coach Thompson gave me a call. Ended up signing to the Lumberjacks, and it took off from there. Coach Thompson gave me a lot of knowledge on the game, and just taught me a lot of football. So I'm very appreciative of that. Getting up there, it was a change for sure because I was kind of used to being with, like, the top tier football, and being with some of the big dogs and stuff like that. And
Right.
not to say NAU wasn't, but it was a step down from the bigger universities and stuff like that. Kind of made us underdogs, which only kind of fueled me.
Right.
So I felt,
Gave you that
so
fire.
right, gave me a little fire. So no, yeah, it just took off from there, and I spent some great time there with Coach Thompson and uh, Jake Castile, who's actually coach at Cal Poly right now. It was great, balling out up north for a little bit.
Good deal. Yeah, so another question I had for you, but with at Northern Arizona, is it seems like, correct me if I'm wrong, in 2018 you dealt with some injuries. You only played a couple of games there. You still had like almost 20 tackles and a couple of sacks there in just 2 games. What was that experience like for you, dealing with injuries, trying to rebound, and still playing your best football during those couple of games?
Yeah, that season was honestly heartbreaking, just because um, I was named the full time starter at Mike Backer at the middle backer spot, and I was balling. I was getting ready for a great season. We had played a UTEP our first game. I think I had around, I want to say, nine to ten tackles, a couple TFLs. I had a sack, and a PBU. So I had a great game, followed it off with we got that win over the FBS opponent, so that was big for our program. The second week we played Eastern Washington, and that was the same year they made it to the national championship and had a dogfight with them. And I think I had 11 tackles that game with another sack. And yeah, I was kind of just getting the ball rolling, and unfortunately, I hurt my shoulder that year. Kind of knocked me out the rest of the season, along with our quarterback, Case Cookis. You probably heard that name before. He
I
was
have, yes.
yeah, he was he was pretty big for the USFL this year, the Philadelphia Stars.
Oh yeah, he was phenomenal. I actually
Yeah.
I was down in Canton for the championship game, so I got to meet him and photograph him and all that. And yeah, that was tough for him because he got injured in that game, and injuries suck, man. I mean, they're
Yeah.
just the worst. So, of course, you're dealing with that. You transfer to Sacramento State, coming off of an injury, and you put up some fantastic numbers, 53 tackles in that last season there with Sacramento State. What was that like for you, like trying to bounce back from this injury and proving to everybody that you could still perform at a high level in a completely new system?
Yeah, so it was a transition for sure. So after that 2018 season, we had a full coaching staff change. So that spring we had a new staff, and it was very different.
Okay.
Um, that 2019 season, I played in 4 games, and kind of wasn't having my best foot, like putting my best foot forward. I felt like so. I ended up transferring and kind of reconnecting with my old coach, and Coach Andy Thompson, which he was the linebackers coach in DC at Sacramento State for the 2019 season.
Okay.
So I ended up redshirting that 2019 season, and ended up graduating that fall and grad transferring to Sacramento State in 2019. And as you know, in 2020, the COVID season hit, so our season got completely canceled.
Right.
So that brings me to
COVID?
2021.
What's that?
Yeah, gosh, everything, like, it just kind of came out of nowhere. And so I go to Sacramento State in 2020. The COVID season happens, and I'm just like, gosh, I haven't played played a season in like a full season in a couple years, and I'm just like, man, I really feel like I've something to come out here and prove.
Right.
And I ended up coming back, working out all that 2020 season with a great strength coach up there at Sacramento State. Shout out Coach Dietrich. He's a hell of a coach, real boss. And just getting ready for that 2021 season and coming out, then we ended up having a great year and, winning the Big Sky Championship, which I had never done in my career. And it was just an amazing feeling that kind of it all came full circle and kind of worked out in the end. So that was great.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love seeing that with players when, they go through and that's what football is all about, right? You go through adversity, you go through tough times, and it's what do those tough times do for you? Do they make you stronger or do you fold? So obviously, in your case, it made you stronger, and the future so bright for you, man. So, you win that Big Sky conference with Sacramento State. Do you have any like favorite memories from your college career?
I would say one of them had to be winning that championship. I also I think it was my sophomore season at NAU. I broke a record for longest interception returned against Northern Colorado, so that was pretty big for me. And then actually my senior season at Sacramento State, it was the first time ever Sacramento State had gotten a win in Grizz Stadium against the Grizz up there in Montana. So that was huge for our program, and it really felt like we were doing something special at Sacramento State, just breaking new barriers because they had won the championship in that 2019 season. So for them to be able to go back to back and do it 2019 and then 2021, it was a real like kind of groundbreaking for the program and for the
Right.
university that hadn't seen a lot of success in the past.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, no, I definitely think it was winning the championship, and then getting that win up in Montana and Missoula. That was huge, along with the interception return.
That must have been pretty special for sure.
Yeah.
So, moving forward now, you're done with Sacramento State. You're still pursuing this. Like, what's the goal for you? Like, what do you see? Where do you see yourself in the next couple of years?
I see myself playing in the NFL. Um, I've worked for this my whole life, and um, I really do feel like I deserve an opportunity to showcase my talents. Um, I did the whole pro day and everything. Put up some respectable numbers, and felt like I should have got a chance after the NFL draft, or even possibly late round drafts is what they were telling me, late rounds to kind of undrafted free agent. But unfortunately, I never got that rookie minicamp invite, and I feel like it just kind of made me more hungry. So
Right.
that only kind of helped me just not get comfortable, because when you get comfortable, that's when you get complacent, and you either get better or you get worse. My high school coach would always tell me that there's no staying stagnant with this football thing. You're either working on your craft, you're in the lab, getting stronger, bigger, faster, or you're getting worse. Simple as that. Like, there's
Right.
always things you could be working on. So I feel like it made me just a stronger player, not only physical but mentally as well. Being able to go through adversity, like you said, I've been through an injury. I've been through, heartbreak when I was about to be a starter full time for the season. Probably gonna have one of my best seasons. So, I kind of just take it like that, and want to get things rolling in the right direction. Um, I've had a couple opportunities to play professional football, along with you know, arena football and the MLFB. It kind of didn't work out, but that's not gonna stop me from pursuing my goals. And I've got the invite to the XFL draft pool coming up
Yes.
in November, so I'm very excited for that. I attended the Florida Showcase out there in Tampa, and
Nice.
yeah, no,
Good
it's gonna be,
deal.
yeah.
Yeah, so there's the good thing for you at least is right now, like it seems like there are a very large amount of opportunities for players like you who want to showcase their opportunities, right? You've got arena football opportunities, you've got the XFL returning in 2023, you've got the United States Football League, which is on track to have a great season too. They just finish up their season. So yeah, so you got the XFL draft pool invite, which is fantastic. That could really turn out to be something great. How did that showcase go for you? What was it like?
It went very good. So we had our defensive session that started at, I think, at 7, ended at 12. We did some testing and then movement drills. And the part I think I did excelled was the drills. It had been all the same drills I was working for pro day and stuff. And unfortunately, we only had one scout at our pro day, so which was the 49ers. So
Gotcha.
the the ability to just get in front of some more eyes and get people to look at you and how you move and stuff like that was big for me, because I'm not the biggest linebacker, but I move very well in space. I could cover well, and I'm very mentally smart in the run game and pass game. So I feel like I was able to use that to my advantage at the showcase, and really kind of get some eyes on me and get some chatter talking about me. So that's ultimately how I got the XFL draft pool invite.
That's awesome. I mean, the XFL, it's going to be pretty sweet in 2023. I mean, an
Oh yeah.
opportunity to play for a league run by Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Like,
Right.
That's pretty cool. So I hope that that works out for you, and I'm sure that someone's going to be looking at you here as the as the draft comes up. We're not 100% sure when that's going to be. I think somewhere in November.
Yeah.
So as we wrap things up here, what would you say would be some of the main lessons you've learned along the way in your career so far?
I would say, the ability to always keep a strong mindset no matter what's going on around you. People go through things every day in their life off the field, and the ones who make it out are the ones who never give up. To be honest, you never lose until you give up. Like, that's something I've always lived by. Like, I always felt like if you work hard enough and work very hard and you have your mental straight, you'll get an opportunity at some point. And that's kind of just something I've been looking for, just an opportunity. Um, I feel like some of the adversity I've been through, like I said earlier, it's only made me a stronger player and a stronger person, because it's not just, people think it's just on the field, that kind of like takes a toll on you. But now when you get hurt, like you can't do anything, especially like some shoulder, like you can't even move. You're in a sling for a good amount of weeks. Like that's
Right.
off the field stuff. That's sleeping. That's having to sleep in a chair for a couple nights. That's it's just some of the things people don't think about, and being able to overcome that, it makes you feel like you could overcome anything. And in the end game, you never lose unless you give up.
Right. I love that. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people think that the life of a professional athlete is waking up like Tom Brady, throwing a few passes, winning a Super Bowl, and that's it. But I mean, there's so
Right.
much that goes into it, you know? I mean, it's a
Right.
grind, it's a struggle. Most of the time, it's like it's not fun, I'm sure, but it's worth
Mm.
it. And it's all about those opportunities, as you said. So Taylor, thank you for joining me on the show. Had a great time speaking with you, and certainly got a bright future ahead of you. So all the listeners know, what's the best place to follow you along for your journey and social media and all that?
Okay, yeah. So you can get me on Instagram. My Instagram is two, spell it out, TWO, two time TP, and you can get me on there. I have my highlights attached to there. Also have Twitter, which is 44 Taylor underscore Powell. Um, and yeah, you can get me on there as well. So yeah, I'm on both social media handles. Got my highlights linked, and you can find me on there.
Good deal. We'll make sure to link that stuff down in the description too. If you guys are watching on YouTube, it'll be there, and it'll also be in the XFL Newsroom article if you came from there as well. So Taylor, once again, thanks for joining me on the show. All you tuned in, appreciate it a lot, and make sure you subscribe to the XFL Newsroom for more shows just like this.